Rafael's lack of playing fields and indoor recreation facilities is impacting our community's quality of life.
There's no field for us to train on, which makes scheduling a complete nightmare. It's just not the conditions that I think San Rafael, the community, and the people who live here, should offer to these kids over here.
In general, most of the major injuries in my career in treating these athletes have occurred in poor field conditions where there are prominent sprinklers, divots in the field.
I think that we have a big epidemic of childhood obesity, childhood diabetes, and we need to get these kids moving and staying active at a young age so that it creates a lifestyle of health.
It's really good when it comes to health, especially in the Latino community where we see obesity being such a big problem, and it's now actually coming to our youth. So this would be beneficial to any community to have.
Without adequate recreational facilities, adults and kids lack the ability to be active year-round and build a healthier community. San Rafael and Marin County families are forced to travel throughout the Bay Area to engage in recreation and play sports because of San Rafael's lack of fields and indoor facilities.
The biggest problem is like right here behind me. On this sunny day on May, we cannot play because the fields are closed.
Having local facilities helps our parents travel less. It keeps them on the soccer field and out of the car. So that's great. It allows them to spend less money because travel is expensive, and allows us to bring in people into the area, which is great for the businesses as well as the club.
As a fire chief, I've seen many vehicle accidents on our highway. Traveling with my children throughout the Bay Area was always a risk of getting in an accident. It would have been much better if I had a closer venue in which I could take them to, knowing that they would be safe coming and going from that sports venue.
Bay Area traffic accident and death statistics demonstrate it is more dangerous for families and kids to frequently drive on the highway than the risk of playing sports in a safe zone near an airport. San Rafael could make an impact helping families live healthier lives by building needed fields and facilities. Unfortunately, the City of San Rafael, the County of Marin, and its many school districts do not, and never will, have the funds to build the 50% increase of fields needed to meet our residents' needs.
As a school board member here in San Rafael, we're dealing with the California state budget crisis every day. It's hard enough to keep the schools and classrooms going with the limited funds that we have. So imagine trying to build a new field or putting in a new facility. It's not going to happen.
Our community's best option is to implement the San Rafael General Plan, which encourages private landowners and business to build the recreation fields and facilities needed in San Rafael.
This project is a wonderful project because it's being paid for by private individuals. Taxpayer funds are not involved. The taxpayers can't afford to do this, and if someone wants to step up to the plate to do this kind of facility, I think it's a wonderful thing.
The City of San Rafael rezoned the airport property from housing to recreation because the City Council determined this was a safe and appropriate use of the land.
While on the Council and the Planning Commission in San Rafael during the 1980s, we felt so strongly about the need for recreation facilities that we rezoned the San Rafael airport property from housing and airport to airport and recreational facilities.
History is the best safety record at predicting future risk. Let's look at the safety record of 2 airports with recreation in the North Bay. Since 1950, when the San Rafael Airport opened, there have been no plane accidents near the fields at McGinnis Park or the area where the San Rafael Sports Center is proposed to be built.
The risk of traveling in a vehicle versus the risk of an accident from an airplane from an airport that size, it doesn't compare.
What sets it apart from most airports is that it's a private airport, that only the pilots who are tenants here can fly in and out of this airport, and there are not that many of us, and we do coordinate and communicate with each other very well. It's a safe airport, and very little air traffic comes and goes out of here.
San Rafael's lack of fields forces our families and kids to travel to fields in other communities, such as Wiseman Park, located at the Petaluma Airport. Just like the San Rafael Airport's safety record, Wiseman Park has existed at the Petaluma Airport for 30 years without one accident near the playing fields.
Our league here is 2,000 kids plus, and we've been playing here for over 20 plus years.
Because we don't have fields in San Rafael, we're having to travel outside of the county all the time. As you can see, the planes here are coming and going and not affecting any of the games or the players. We've been playing here for about 15, 20 years, and it's perfectly safe.
The Petaluma Airport averages 10 times more flights per day than the San Rafael Airport. Between the San Rafael Airport and the Petaluma Airport, over 60 years of history demonstrate the safety of recreation next to small airports. The San Rafael Sports Center will empower adults and kids of all ages to reach their sports and fitness goals in their own community.
Facilities such as Sports City benefit the community in a huge way. There's so many kids out there that after the age of 14, when they enter high school, they don't have opportunities to be able to continue playing. And we're talking a lot about at-risk youth.
According to the organization Fight Crime and Marin County Sheriff Bob Doyle, keeping kids engaged in activity after school has been identified as the best way to prevent community youth crimes and gangs.
Sports City keeps kids out of trouble. It gives them something to do. It teaches them team building, sportsmanship, everything. Sports City is awesome.
There's a lot of life skills in it. Just besides running around hanging out on the street, there's something to go. It's an activity, it's safe. I don't know, I'm comfortable. I can come in here, I know if I drop my kids off, they're in a good environment.
Sports City programs in Sonoma County demonstrate how the San Rafael Sports Center's recreation opportunities build a healthier and safer community.
It's great for the community just to have a place where it's safe, it's well lit, it's a clean place.
It is quite a community. As my children have grown, we've brought them here. I've played on co-ed teams, and it actually helps build families and it builds relationships.
We play usually once a week on either Friday or Saturday nights.
Co-ed is interesting.
It is interesting, especially when you're playing with your wife.
Lil Kickers at Sports City is a nationally renowned child development program that focuses on early childhood development. Lil Kickers helps children build a strong and healthy foundation of physical, intellectual, and social skills. Lil Kickers has been voted a Sonoma County favorite year after year and has been featured in prominent national media such as Time Magazine, USA Today, CBS News, and NBC's Today Show. Sports City and the Goals Foundation sponsors local soccer and sports clubs, after-school programs, and assist other nonprofits to help with at-risk youth.
The Goals Foundation is really setting a strong fundamental foundation here for our community and providing for our kids, providing for our families, and providing for our long-term success in our community.
Sports City's top soccer program allows mentally and physically challenged children to play in a safe, secure environment.
A program like TOPS is very important for kids with disabilities, especially with kids who are working on social skills, gross motor skills, and just being an active participant in the community. The TOPS soccer program, I feel, gives the parents hope, gives the parents a way to, something to do after school is done, a way to get their children active in the community.
My daughter's name is Kelsey. She has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is lack of oxygen to the brain at birth. She also has cortical vision impairment, which is CVI, so she's legally blind. This is the first time we've been at Sports City, and within a half an hour of being here at Sports City, my daughter's already kicking a ball around all on her own, and she's never done it before at home.
Playing soccer, gross motor, social skills, communication, so many of the goals that are important for these children can be addressed when they're doing this kind of activity. So having this kind of facility is of supreme importance in their program.
The San Rafael Sports Center is endorsed by organizations, businesses, and community leaders such as the San Rafael Chamber of Commerce, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Marin County Sheriff Bob Doyle, San Rafael Fire Chief Tom Roach, former San Rafael City Council members, and former Mayor Al Borro, as well as sports leagues and individuals representing well over 10,000 Marin families.
Every community should have an indoor sports facility.
Having another field space, having another facility for kids to use, That's what we need in San Rafael.
Sports City certainly has provided probably the safest, healthiest place for us to play soccer.
It's a great family place for healthy living.
Great place to be part of the community.
I can't think of a better place to come and get to know other people in the community.